We usually think of love as an emotion, right? Something that just kind of happens to us. But what if it was more than that? What if love could be a tool, a powerful technology that we could actually use for our own enlightenment? Well, that's the core idea from this incredible dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, set right on a cosmic battlefield. So picture this. It all kicks off in a moment of total crisis. A great warrior, Arjuna, is on the edge of a massive battle, and he's questioning everything, the whole point of his actions. And in response, his guide, Krishna, doesn't just give him a pep talk. No, he offers a complete flip in perspective, showing him how love, if you really get it, is the most direct way to freedom. Okay, so the very first step on this path is realizing that love isn't just one thing. It actually has two very different faces. There's a kind of love that binds us, the kind that creates attachment and, well, a lot of suffering. But then there's another kind of love that has the power to set you completely free. So on one side, you've got the love that gets us all tangled up. It's built on fear, on greed, and that constant feeling of I and mine. The idea that we need something out there to make us feel whole. And that path, it always, always leads to suffering. But the other option isn't to stop loving. It's to find a totally different kind of love, one that's based on devotion, on surrender, and just a deep, genuine compassion for everyone and everything. That's the love that liberates. So the big question is, how do we get from one to the other? How do you actually cultivate this liberating kind of love? Well, the Gita points us to something called bhakti yoga, which is really the path of devotion. Now, when we hear a word like devotion, our minds might jump to, rituals or ceremonies. But bhakti yoga is pointing to something way deeper. It's a total shift in your consciousness. It's about being in a state where you're constantly connected with the divine, not as something far away, but as the very essence of every single person and every single thing you encounter. And there's this perfect story that illustrates this. The Gopikas, who were childhood friends of Krishna, they reached this amazing state. And they didn't do it through, complicated philosophy. They did it through simple, unwavering love. Their remembrance of the divine was just so total, so all-consuming, that they lived in this state of complete fulfillment. Honestly, they were just too busy being in love to get caught up in anything else. This powerful path of devotion, it's really fueled by one of the most misunderstood, yet absolutely crucial practices in all of spirituality: the art of surrender. Yeah, we tend to think of surrender as giving up, right? Admitting defeat. But here, it's framed as something else entirely. It's a technology for profound relaxation. It's the art of truly letting go, of handing over your burdens to a higher power. It's this radical idea that you don't actually have to carry the weight of the entire world by yourself. And in that letting go, you find this deep, complete peace. And this letting go, it doesn't happen all at once. It's a process, a deepening of trust. It starts with your actions. Doing your best, but not being obsessively attached to the outcome. Then it goes deeper, to your senses, experiencing the world without constantly labeling everything good or bad. And the final step? Well, that's the deepest of all. Surrendering the mind and the ego itself. The whole story of I and mine that keeps us feeling separate from everything else. This whole process leads to this beautiful, powerful metaphor. By emptying yourself of all that ego, all that attachment and fear, you become like a hollow bamboo. You're a perfect open instrument. And then the divine can play its music through you. You're not the one performing the song of life anymore. The song is being performed through you. So once you've started to empty yourself out through surrender, where do you point all this love? This is where the practice creates this fascinating feedback loop. Because when you direct this selfless love outward, something pretty incredible happens. It changes you. This brings us to another really powerful metaphor: the divine as a perfect mirror. Think about it. Whatever you project onto it, whether it's love or anger or fear or devotion, that's exactly what it reflects back to you. It's not judging you. It is simply showing you you. And here is the key. This is the whole point. When we see a flaw in our reflection, what's our first instinct? We try to fix the mirror, right? We blame the world. We blame other people. We're trying to put a Band-Aid on the reflection.
But the wisdom here is to use that mirror to see where the bandage needs to go on yourself. The love you offer becomes the very light that shows you your own path to healing. It's brilliant.
Ultimately, this whole journey of devotion and surrender, it completely transforms your existence. Love stops being something you do and just becomes what you are. So what does a person who has actually made this journey look like? Well, as Krishna explains, they basically become a source of peace. They're free from that constant nagging anxiety of I and mine, so they're friendly and compassionate to everyone. They're not swayed by praise or blame because their contentment comes from a deep inner union with the self. They just live in this state of profound, unshakable peace. And this leads us to the ultimate insight of this path. True, radiant love isn't an emotion you feel for something. It's the natural state of your being when you finally truly experience that every person, every creature, everything is just part of the same cosmic consciousness. It's the realization that you're not just a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a single drop. So really, the final question isn't how to find more love. It's how to dissolve the barriers that are stopping you from being it.